Okay, and we should be live. I'm just gonna do my usual thing. I don't know why I say it every time what I'm doing, as if anyone's gonna be here the instant I click the live button. I mean, sometimes people do. Hang on. But I always need to say, hey, I'm live now, just to let people know. And then I always need to say, hey, I'm gonna go check all of, like, Twitch and everything to make sure everything's working well, okay? How's YouTube? How's YouTube going? Are YouTube's going good? All right. Let me go ahead and check the volumes, because I actually did record the volumes that I had everything set at before, but I still want to double check. Oh, wait. Oh, the game's not up. Wait, but the audio's still going through. Hang on. You... Up. And then let's just go ahead and go to that. Is it working? Is it working? Hey, Soda, you beautiful person. How you doing? How's it hanging? You have news? What's the news? Oh, I can hear the music now. Okay, let's go. Okay, there we go. Now I can take this off and I can actually put on my other headphones. But yeah, no, what's happening? Let me just go ahead and put that away so I don't not distracted by it the whole time. Oh, you got your that's awesome. You got your first paycheck. Let's go. Got to get that bread. That's so exciting. How's your new job been going? We haven't talked too much about it since like you first started it. And that, like, when we talked about it last time, it was like, hey, it's like really exhausting and stuff. You got to move a lot of tables. I'm a functional member of society now. Let's go. Being a functional member of society for the win. Oh, I love that. That really is how it feels. It feels like, oh, I'm like an actual adult now getting like paid and junk. It's not just like Venmos or like straight up cash from like people. It's like, oh, it feels so official now, you know? I love it. I love that. Also, I do apologize if I'm like slightly lower energy in this stream. I did not sleep too well last night. I'm very tired. Job is good. Can't say much other than the moving tables and serving food because... Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. Anything you can't say, don't say. I won't ask for any more than that. So, I actually had a friend who... Well, I used to have a friend who worked in, like, a lot of, like, patients and stuff like that. And he wasn't too good about the whole patient confidentiality thing. And so, it's very weird the whole time if he would ever tell us stuff like that. So, I'm like, no, please keep that confidential. Not only for yourself, but for everyone else around you, so... Well, that's good to hear that it's like going good and that you're getting your first paycheck and stuff and that you're liking it. At least I hope you're liking it. If it's going good, I assume that's what that would mean. Bendy, you reckless... wait, you swear to CTU? What does that mean? Hang on, Bendy, you reckless dingus. I swear to CT... Oh, take care of yourself. Listen, it wasn't me doing it. It was my friend. He would literally just be like, hey guys, want to hear a work story? And we'd be like, is it gonna go against patient like confidentiality? And he'd be like, no. Proceeds to tell us everything about the patient that none of us should know. And it's like, oh, dude, come on. So yeah, no, it has nothing to do with me. We would always be like, hey, maybe don't tell us that stuff. And then he'd be like, oh, here's my story anyway. So again, I was very good about it. He was very bad about it. So, you know, not my bad. I guess I should, let's do, oh, I mean, about to sleep, you handsome boy. Oh, thank you. Oh, well, the main reason that I didn't sleep well was because I was watching Horimiya. So, you know, there was an excuse for that, you know? Granted, I didn't sleep well after I actually went to bed, but I was up very late watching that. I haven't finished it yet, but I'm almost there, and it's pretty great so far. Wait for what? I'm waiting. Hold on, I'm holding on. Hang on. Horimiya? Or is it Horimiya? Wait, what do you mean? Is there an issue here? Listen, I swear. That's what I've looked up a review of it, and that's what everyone's calling it. I think. I don't know. It's Horiyama. Wait, no it's not. Hang on. Because it's literally Hori and then Mia, because it's like combining their two names. Hora. Yeah, it's Horimiya. Wait, is this a different show? No, no, no. See, it is Horimiya. Hang on, I'll pull this up. It's spelled Horimiya. Horimiya. I was gonna pull it up, but that sounds complicated. I mean, it's not really complicated. It'd just take a hot second, so I'm just not going to. But yeah, no, that's how it's spelled. Oh no, you're good. Wait, what were you? Horiyama. What's that show? I don't think I've ever heard of it before. But yeah, no, Horimiya, the romance one, is very good. I'm really liking it a lot. Although, wait, is this like a movie? The Missing Pieces. No, that's just season 2. Never mind. Also, this controller just vibrates with the music, and my leg is going numb. In my defense, I've had alcohol. You know what? Fair enough. That would make it a little bit harder to think straight, so I get ya. Honestly, I'm surprised I thought straight enough to be like, oh, I can just look it up. I'm at a computer. Because with how my brain's been working today, it's been rough. It's been a little slow. Last time I streamed this, it was like a lot of misreadings and stuff like that, and I'm expecting a lot of the same thing. I'm not expecting to get a single sentence right, but you know, we're gonna give it our best, so I'm looking forward to it. I'm thinking of the Ace Attorney You know what? Fair enough. I do constantly just watch all of his stuff, like all night long. Just a lot of Horiyama, just constantly. That's like, he's like my favorite show ever. That's another thing I've never played before is Ace Attorney. I have like a couple of them on the 3DS just because when like the shop was going down, they were selling a bunch of them for a couple of dollars. And I was like, it seems like a fun franchise and everyone loves it. Maybe I should like get into that, you know? Maybe I should try it out. Because it just like looks like fun and like it looks very visual novel-y, which objection, mother fluffer. Exactly. Listen, I know that reference. Like it just looks like a fun vibe, especially since like that's just like a core part of it is just yelling objection at each other, and it's like gotten to the point of like I want to be in court just to do that, even if I'm wrong, even if it gets me thrown out. I would like to do that, even if I was like doing like jury duty or something. Oh, that'd be so funny. Having the jury, because like normally like in the actual like courts and stuff, the jury just kind of sits there silently until it's like their turn to like go back and like discuss the case. It'd be funny if like if the jury was just like the peanut gallery, basically just constantly making little comments and jibes about it. I'm so glad I'm not in the US right now because booze is good. Also, listen, no one follows that rule, all right? Like I may not drink, but everyone does. Also, what are we alsoing? Like, legitimately, I know, like, I didn't even, like, comment on that because I was like, Phoenix Wright is a criminal? Wait, what? Is that, like, his tragic backstory, like, he used to be a criminal? He breaks the law? Oh, okay, is it sort of like, he's, like, the good guy of the story, but in trying to, like, figure out the cases, he's constantly breaking the law. Sort of like, I think that happened a lot in, like, shows like Psych and stuff, where, like, they'd bring up the fact that they're constantly breaking the law, but then never actually do anything about it, even though he's, like, it really matters how they go about that. Like, is it that kind of situation? He should be in jail. Okay, based on what you're saying, that's the kind of vibes. Like, to actually, like, solve all these cases, he's going out there, breaking the law. No one really does anything about it. Revoke it. Okay, but, like, he's kind of a chill dude, from what I can tell. He's kind of a chill guy. Okay, he breaks the law from time to time, but, you know, he does good work. He puts in his hours. Does that really, you know, mean he should be in jail? Probably, but you know, I'll be on his side. I'll object to him getting put in jail. Because he just seems like a chill dude, you know? Also, how else are we supposed to get more games if he's in jail? That'd be such a short series. Oh. Ernie, you know I love you, but stop supporting criminals. Listen. I think it depends on the crimes, you know? Did he murder someone? Because if so, then I'm against him. But did he just do a little shenanigans, a little bit of goofing and trolling to try and solve crimes? Then, you know, if that's all he did, I'm fine with it. Give the protagonist title to that psychic girl. Wait, hang on. Is there actually someone who's psychic? And I thought it was just about a bunch of guys yelling at each other. A bunch of pretty boys yelling and shouting. If there's a psychic person, how do they not just solve all crimes instantly? Like, to bring up Psych again, he's not actually psychic, and that's where, like, the crime solving comes in. Girl protagonist, she talks to ghosts and dead. Okay. That seems like the easiest call ever. You walk into a place, like, where someone was murdered, be like, okay, ghost of victim. Tell me what happened. And they're like, hey, dog, he killed me. And it's like, well, case closed. I got the ghost on my side. Granted, well, actually, no. I'm imagining that when she talks them, they just appear. But if they don't, then there's actually a case, because then she just seems like a crazy person talking to ghosts. Her arc could be her mastering her powers to solve cases. Yeah, I guess it depends on like how they like have her powers like actually like working in the beginning. Because if it is like she can just talk to ghosts freely or like conjure them or whatever, then it's like, then that's like a good, then there's not really anywhere for it to go. But if it is like she struggles with it, then that is the thing. There's so much potential. Rah! Listen. That would be a lot of fun, actually. I can't even lie. As much as I do love trolling and shenanigans to solve crimes, I'm gonna stop drinking for the night. Holy frick. Listen, take care of yourself. If you're having a fun time, then you keep doing you. But if this is a good place to stop for you, then stop. But you know what? I think it's a little funny, so... But yeah, no. I didn't even comment on that. Like, I was like, I don't think that, like, you'd be old enough to drink. But then I was like, oh yeah, European. And then I was also like, oh yeah, also no one follows that law. Because the weirdest part about that law is like, oh, you can't, like, buy alcohol if you're underage, but if someone else buys it for you, then most people will just look the other way. Who cares at all, you know? And it's like very odd in my opinion. I don't know why that's how that works, but it is. It's like a law that people pretend to follow, if that makes sense, you know? And it's very odd in my opinion. But granted, this is coming from someone who doesn't drink at all, and I've tried non-alcoholic alcohol just because, like, I've never really had interest in alcohol before, just because, like, I've always been told that's, like, it's not very tasty and it tends to make you feel bad. I'm like, well, you know, you do you. That doesn't sound very fun for me. There's only one A. What does that mean? Alcohol drink I like. Oh, okay, there's only one alcohol drink you like. Yeah. Hands are stupid. No, you're fine. It's fine. But like, yeah, no, like, I feel like that's how it probably is for most people, because most of the time it's like, yeah, no, like, they're all bad, or you gotta get like an acquired taste to it. It's like, ugh, they're gross. Like, randomly one day I was down playing D&D, and my friend's brother-in-law just brings down like a whole case. Actually, hang on, really quick. What is the one alcohol drink you like? I want to look it up. But he just brought down this whole case and was like, hey, yo, who wants a beer? And we were all just sitting there like, what the freak? This guy doesn't drink. Why does he have like 19 beers in his hand right now? And he was just like, oh, listen, someone just brought these by, like a friend did. They're non-alcoholic, but it's like, you know, if you guys want to try them, because I know none of you have like ever drank before. And so I was like, you know what? Sure. And then I took a small little swig, and it was like the grossest thing ever. Almost like gagged, threw up, like on the spot. It was foul. Like, it legitimately, like, in that moment, I was like, why do people just drink beers? Like, a strawberry lime VK. It's a 4% alka pop. So is it like alcohol and soda? That sounds good. See, that sounds like so much better. Like, there are so many people who will be like, yeah, I just went and got like a cold beer, like, and it's just like a bottle of just like generic brand stuff. I'm like, why would you ever drink that? Like, if you're gonna drink alcohol, drink a good kind. It's sort of like, people who drink black coffee, and like, as someone who doesn't like any coffee, there's definitely different like levels of good and bad to coffee. And if you just drink a normal, just straight black coffee, it's like one of the most foul things you can put in your mouth. But like, if you just like get like, if you're gonna drink coffee anyways, why not just drink one of the better tasting ones? Drink to enjoy it, not to be drunk. Exactly. So like, that's why like I don't get why you would just drink a normal brand beer, or like Bud Lights, because I've heard like Bud Lights are like the same thing, or like Coronas. It's just like foul tasting stuff, and it's just like, that's weird to me. Just, I'd rather never not. I'm fine. Oh. Granted, I'm also like not like, I don't know. There's just not ever been like the appeal to that, because like I feel like I have like an addicting personality. So like I have to like really work really hard to not like just indulge a lot and stuff like that, like if I like the taste of it. So I'd be worried about like finding one that I like and being like, oh yeah, time to like over drink essentially. That's like one of the main reasons I've never tried any of like the ones that do taste good. Like that strawberry lime one does taste very good, but I'm like, oh man, but if I like it, I'll definitely over drink it. That would suck. I'm a eat, but have fun with the stream, darling. Moi. All right, have fun with this. I was about to say have fun with the stream too, but have fun sleeping. Sleep well. Love ya. Bye. Moi. Hope you have a great rest of your night, and thanks for stopping by. Oh. Sleep stream. Yeah, I'd have a fun sleep stream. Exactly. Honestly, if it wasn't like 4 p.m. my time, bye. I'd probably go to sleep after this too, because I am conking out in my seat. But you know, I'm going to do my best, because I gotta do better than we did last time. Because last time, I wanted to go for longer, but then it was legitimately like I'm messing up every other sentence that I can like possibly read. And so I'm like, okay, I just can't do this anymore. There's no point in me continuing this if I can't read a sentence. So you know what? We're going to give it our best. I'm going to try and take it nice and slow, and then we're just going to go. You know what I mean? And in the last one, what happened in the last one? Not, again, not too much happened because of how much I fumbled over myself. Oh, sorry, I got a text from a friend that was very distracting. It was like, they wrote never mind, but it was like super long and drawn out. So it was just NVM and then like 19 M's. I was like, what is this text? I'm trying to like get better at like ignoring stuff like that. But when stuff like that pops up on my screen, it's like, how can I not look at that? But what happened in the last one? We like officially started our like relationship with Rai. We had a also, one of the reasons we didn't get too far is because I had to figure out like how the endings worked, like the bad ends, which was definitely interesting. Basically, like, if you pick too many bad ones, then the game just ends on you, you know? You gotta start over or start from, like, another save, yada yada. So we did a lot of that, and then I just kind of fumbled and only got, like, through 4% of it, as opposed to the 7% we got through in the last one. But I think with that being said, let's just go ahead and jump on into it, because, again, we didn't get too far, and I'm really hoping that we actually meet Rai in this one, just because, like, he's just been like a voice. He's just been a little text the past two. Actually, no, we did call him last time, and we actually got to do his voice. And I had to drop my voice to do an extra low voice for him. And it was a fun time. So, yeah, that being said, let's go ahead and jump on into it. Game, are you gonna load? You're gonna... There we go. Which one? Oh, no. Oh, no, these were saved at the same time. That's terrible. Hang on. Okay. There we go. Let's just go ahead and throw on me headphones so I can actually hear it too. All right, let's get on into it. All right. My hand's disconnected from my brain. I made so many mistakes. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's tease him. Lol, cute, huh? Wait. Oh, wait, didn't we already read all this? Hang on. No, I don't want to save. Hang on. I just read that we've already been through all this. Load, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, this is definitely the one that we are on. So let's just go ahead and pop into this one. It's my day off, so after making myself brunch, I spend the day watching Dryden videos. Rai said that the puppy interview from about 2 weeks ago should be put up soon. Luckily, the effect of Rai's stupidly sexy voice is dampened a little when I'm watching it in a video and it's not right in my ear. What just happened? What the freak? Everything on my screen just closed. Hang on. We're just having a little bit of scuff. Hang on. Hold up. Bomp. There we go. I have no idea what that was. That was very odd. Sorry about that. I don't know if it actually affected you guys at all. But anyways. Of course, I've also spoken with him a few more times, so maybe I've started building up an immunity to it. It goes without saying that Rai is incredibly talented. I don't know that much about music, but he seems to sparkle when he goes on about how he composed this song or how he came up with the inspiration for this other song. There's a video where he plays some classical piano music too, which is made particularly interesting by the fact that he still dons that sci-fi-esque helmet of his. I especially like watching interviews where he and Virgil are together. They have great chemistry and you can see how comfortable they are with each other. Rai told me before that he and Virgil have known each other since middle school. That's a long time to know someone, and it shows. I learned a lot about Rai, at least, the Dryden aspect of Rai, from watching these videos. Since finding out that Rai is my brain definitely misread that, and it very much so confused me. Since finding out that Rai is famous, and especially since that talk about power imbalance, I felt a little self-conscious about asking him about things related to Dryden. I don't want him to think that I'm only interested in him because of that. Well, I think, like, that's a fair, like, worry to have, but You were also very much so interested in him before that, so hopefully you wouldn't think that. But it's also hard to keep skirting around it. I mull over this for a while, squishing my cats while pondering life's mysteries. I guess it's silly to pretend that Rye's not a huge musical celebrity, and we're already dating. If he were a regular office worker, I'd feel totally fine asking him about how his job went or whatever. So I should treat Dryden the same way. Dryden is his job, it's part of his identity. Of course, to me, it's not the most important part. Come to think of it, I didn't even know he was the Rye from Dryden when we first started talking, and he knows that, but still, see, she's basically saying what I did. Oh, it looks like that puppy video has been released. It's already trending on Twitter. I take a seat on the couch and watch it. Hey, I'm Rye, and I'm going to be answering fan questions while playing with puppies. Amazing. Rye is thoroughly distracted by the puppies and forgets half the questions, prompting the interviewer to repeat themselves over and over. Oh, that's amazing. Listen, that would legitimately be like the hardest thing ever. I get like overwhelmed with like one new little puppy. So like having like the whole swarms like they have in those interviews, I would just tell them to like to stop asking me questions so I could play with the dogs. It'd be too overwhelming. So we have a new song coming out. What was the inspiration for this song? Hey, don't try to bump my helmet. Sorry, what was the question? What was the inspiration for your new song? They have a new song? Has he been working on it recently? Where did Rye even find the time? His schedule is packed, to say the least. Oh, right, I started seeing someone recently, and the song's just about, you know, a new relationship and the feeling of being understood by someone. What? You're dating someone? I'm pretty sure that's not in the script, but fans would certainly want to know. Yeah, it's great. Next question? Rye handled that like a champ, though he's probably used to stuff like this. I'm a little surprised that he casually mentioned seeing someone, but maybe it's not as big a deal as I thought. I'm immediately proven wrong by social media. OMG, no, our precious Rye is taken. He's never talked about dating someone before. Aren't Rye and Virgil a thing? But he said recently. I bet Rye is dating Selena Gomez. No, Rye can't be dating Selena Gomez. 1 out of question mark. Sorry for not being Selena Gomez. I waste the rest of the day in a gloriously lazy fashion, watching videos, eating junk food, and hanging out with my cats. In the evening, I get a text from Precious Rye. I thought it was funny, so... Precious Rye, lol. Hey, the puppy video came out today. Did you get to watch it? I did, it was super cute. While I was at it, I watched a bunch of other videos about you too. Do you know how many conspiracy videos there are about your helmet? Yeah, Virgil's told me about those before. He thinks they're hilarious. Has Virgil seen what you look like without the helmet? Yep, don't be too jealous. You'll get to see it soon. Okay. What do I want to pick here? Because again, reading that guide, it was like, just be trusting, have faith in him. So I feel like this is the proper response, just because I'm like, I feel like this is like putting him like on the back foot, like being like, oh, I'm not actually like, I don't care that much, yada yada. But I'll still do like a little save slot just in case. And I'm gonna put this because it's very clearly a joke. Who's jealous? Not me. Are you sure? Positive. I was just making conversation. Right. I guess when I say it like that, it does sound a little defensive. Well, you can't blame me for being curious. Yeah, true. Dryden's coming to your city in a couple weeks, actually, so that'll be good timing. That's right. K-City was listed on the tour list. Shouldn't be a surprise, I guess. It's a big city. Okay, this is like one of like the weird parts about this. I like that it actually like references real world stuff because it does basically take place in like the real world. But then they just mention like they're in K-City, like whatever that means. Unless there's like a city in like New York that is called K-City and I'm just like being silly. It's just very weird to have like a fake, semi-fake setting that also takes place in the real world that mentions like real world things. That's like a slight disconnect that's in my brain that I'm like still trying to figure out. Unless again, there actually is like a place called K-City because I think they said that they're in New York. I could be wrong about that though. Anyway. Oh, will you have time to meet up? Yeah, for sure. Can you send me your address? I'll mail you tickets. Oh, yeah, of course. I text him my address. I didn't expect him to give me tickets, but I'll gladly take him up on it. He just smoothly had me go to his concert. I can't remember the last time I went to a concert. I'm pretty excited. I'll have to make sure I familiarize myself with Dryden's music more before I go and embarrass myself. Come to think of it, how did we even match on Closed Circle? I thought I was supposed to match you with people nearby, but you were in Australia. Well, when I saw your profile, it was a few days before you messaged me. I was in K-City at the time. Oh, really? Yeah, I was working with another artist in a studio there. I mean, if I'd used Closed Circle more and matched with him sooner, we could have maybe met while he was here. Damn, that's what I get for being so half-baked about my love life. That's one mystery solved. Are there still more mysteries left? Well, kinda, but I don't want to bother you. You're not a bother, Francis. You wouldn't mind if I asked you more about your work? I don't want to come off as... Well, I don't want you to think I only like you because of Dryden. If I thought that about you, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Touché. Hearing that from him takes a weight off my shoulders that I hadn't realized existed. Some part of me has always worried about our different statuses, and about wanting him to see me in the best light. I thought that at my age, I should have learned my lesson. You should never change yourself just to suit someone else. Still, when the opportunity presents itself, sometimes it's hard to avoid acting in a way you know won't rock the boat. Sorry, looks like I was overthinking things again. No need to apologize. I understand why you might feel anxious about a relationship like this. I wish I could be there with you more. Now I've gone and made him feel bad. Though it'd be a lie if I said I don't care about the distance at all. I'm more or less okay with things the way they are too. He gives me plenty of attention and even publicly acknowledged that he's in a relationship. I can feel the respect that Rai has for me. I know that sounds like a low bar, but I mean, he's famous. The man has more Instagram followers than many cities have citizens. Whatever you want to know, I'll do my best to answer and be honest with you. Thanks, Rai. That means a lot. I won't hold back then. We chat about this and that for a while longer after that, and then Rai has to get back to doing, well, whatever he does. I hug Phaeton close to me and stroke his head to feel that soft Cornish Rex peach fuzz. That was a lot. I have no idea what a Cornish Rex is. Obviously it's that cat, but I've never seen that before, so seeing Cornish Rex, I'm like, what does that mean? So I read it very poorly. I can't believe I get to see it. I can't believe I actually get to go to an actual Dryden concert. Dryden. It's very weird to say that. What do you think, Phaeton? This is way too elaborate for a catfishing or a scam, right? You know what? I live by a very dumb way of life. If someone goes through this much effort to scam me, they can take me at that point, you know? Whatever their intentions are, if it's to murder me or kidnap me, if they went through all these months of effort, just take me at that point. I don't deserve life. But you know, my gut tells me that he's really Rai, and we'll get to meet up soon. Is that naive of me? Phaeton just tilts his head while eyeing me. He seems to be saying, how the hell should I know? I'm just a cat. Guess I've got no choice but to believe and keep going. Did you get the ticks? I see Rai's message while I'm on break at Latte Night on a couple days later. Rai sent me a really special ticket. I guess I should have expected that, but still. Some part of me must still be worried about whether this is all a scam. Yep, did you mean to send me a VIP pass? Yeah, so you'll get to watch the show from backstage. I figured it's better than getting squished by the crowd. This is true. I hadn't thought of that. This is one hell of a relationship perk. Well, thanks. I'm super excited. I already requested off from the library, so I'll have tons of energy. Awesome. I'm pretty excited too. Though knowing you'll be watching, it's a lot of pressure. How long will you be in town? Do you think we'll have time to meet up? This isn't the first time we talked about it, but I still want to confirm. Oh, no. How do I go back? How do I go back? I forgot. I'm using the controller. I forgot how to go back with that. Hang on. Bop. I'll only be there a day. We'll leave early Saturday afternoon. I'm trying to see if I can free up some time after, but it's not for sure yet. Oh. The tour's winding down. I have 2 more shows after the one in K-City, and then I'll have some time off before we hit South America. I'll make time for you, promise. Thank you. I'll look forward to that time then. Suddenly, my phone goes off. I look at it, and Rye's requesting a video call? I'm confused, but still decide to pick up, moving to an area where I won't be disturbing anyone around me. When the video from Rye ends loads, it's pretty dark and pixelated, but he seems to be in a car. Wait, I think there's someone else. What a pretty guy! Oh my gosh, he gives off like the most like Dante from Devil May Cry energy I've ever seen, but in like the best way ever. Also, nice jacket, I really want it. Is this Francis? Hey, Francis. The video shakes as I assume the phone gets plucked by Rye's hands. Hi, is this Virgil? I mean, I don't want to assume, but who else would it be? Whoa, how did she know it was me? You're famous, Francis. Oh, you're famous. Francis knows what you look like. Rye's voice, I immediately recognize as he kindly points this out to his friend. Oh yeah, true. I can't help but laugh. Virgil has the decency to move the phone back, capturing both him and Rye in the frame. Just to drive the point home, Virgil sings a few bars of their song Ride With You, while Rye just shakes his head helplessly. Yep, I mean, I had more or less already come to the conclusion to trust Rye, but seeing him and Virgil together... This sure is Dryden that I'm having a video call with. Virgil has one of those frontman qualities you'd expect. He's beautiful in an almost otherworldly way and very self-assured. If Rye's like the moon, then Virgil's definitely the sun. It's pretty mind-blowing to think that I'm actually talking to Virgil and Rye from Dryden, and dating one of them. It's good to finally meet you, Virgil. I've heard a lot about you. Good things, I hope? Oh, only good things, of course. Mostly. I wink at Rye. I have no idea how well he can see me through the helmet, but he laughs. Mostly, huh? I can deal with that. Hey, seems nice. You picked a good one. I don't need you to tell me that, and I didn't pick Francis. She's not a fruit. Yeah. I didn't think I... Oh, wait, okay, that's Francis. It's getting a little hard to tell who's talking. I didn't think I'd get to see both of you for the first time doing a video call with Rye. Honestly, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed by the favor. Hold up. This is your first time doing a call? I rub the back of my neck with one hand, embarrassed. Well, yeah. Rye, you dipshit. What have you two been doing this whole time? Just texting? We've been doing voice calls too. Rye's voice is a little indignant and defensive. What year do you think it is? Damn, if I'd known this was the first time you guys were chatting face to face, I wouldn't have butt in. Don't I come off as a third wheel like this? What the hell, man? It's not that big of a deal. Rye's pretty busy, and I guess I never felt right before. Don't you try to defend him, Francis. You don't know it, but Rye can be pretty shy if you don't nudge. Oh, would you look at that? The car's stopping. Time to go. I see Rye's hand get closer and closer to the camera, plucking the phone out of Virgil's grip. And then all I see is that helmet, glowing with its fancy LED lights in a pattern I don't understand. Sorry this was so abrupt, Francis. I'll talk to you later, okay? I'm glad the past made it to you safely. Okay, see you later. Break a leg. Rye laughs, the sound of it sending a swarm of butterflies fluttering into my body. I won't mess up this time, no matter how cute you are. Unable to formulate a response to that, I hang up directly. Really, that man is too charming for his own good. A few days later, I'm at work as usual, when Mi Kyung calls me to the front. Hey, do you need something? Mi Kyung smiles before handing me a vase with flowers in it. I'm momentarily speechless. These were delivered for you, Francis. She passes me a tiny envelope, which evidently came with the bouquet. I put the vase down on Mi Kyung's desk so I can read the note. I was able to make time. Come see me after the show? R. Oh. Not that I had any other suspects in mind, but it's still a surprise that Rye sent me flowers. I did mention in passing the name of the library I work at once or twice. Talk about resourceful. The bouquet is a mix of orange and blue flowers. I personally only recognize two. A cluster of forget-me-nots is very cute and eye-catching against some very bold orange lilies. Is forget-me-nots really the name of a flower? What the freak? That sounds like something like you'd make up if you couldn't think of the name of like an actual flower. Hang on. No, I don't want to open Twitter. I didn't mean to click that. Hang on. Forget-me-not. What the freak? These are so cute. Oh my gosh. Hang on. Let's just go ahead and we're just going to pull this over. Ba-da-bump. Do 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 do. Wait. Oh. Is this one it? Click. There we go. There we go. I'm getting better at this. I can do things. Look at that. They're so pretty. Oh, that's awesome. Well, there we go. Oh. Man, that'd be such a nice little surprise getting this like bouquet during work. That'd be so nice. Well, wait, hang on. It's not. There we go. This is a nice arrangement. Orange lilies symbolize pride, and white chrysanthemum. Don't ask me to pronounce that word. Just white flowers stand for loyalty. I think back to the puppy video where Rai oh so smoothly mentioned seeing someone. I have even less of a reason to hide my relationship status. They're from my boyfriend. It still feels weird to say my boyfriend. Ah, no wonder. That's so cute. Can I put them next to my computer at the circulation desk? Sure, I think it'll really brighten things up. I slide the note into my pocket before leaving with a vase of flowers and displaying it at the circulation desk. Gina greets my return with a raised eyebrow. I didn't even know you were dating. It's a pretty recent thing. Girlfriend? Boyfriend. Oh, I wonder if he knows about flower language then. Rai does strike me as a romantic type. I hardly know anything about flower language, but it wouldn't surprise me if he does. What's the occasion? He's asking me on a date. Flowers are a pretty grand gesture for something like that. Well, it's our first date. In person, that is. We met online. Understanding dawns on Jenna's face. Oh, okay, that makes more sense. Well, I hope it's awesome and you guys hit it off. He's giving me a good impression already. Jenna and I have met up for coffee or drinks outside of work before, so she's heard all about my so-called sordid dating history. She seems genuinely happy for me. I should try a little harder to be friends with her. Me too. It ends up being pretty busy after that. The universe seems to be punishing me for this bit of PDA. Then, during my lunch break, Jenna needles me for more info on my new boyfriend, so I'm not able to text Rai about the note and flowers until much later. I got your flowers. That was really sweet of you. Though my coworkers were asking me all, though my coworkers were all asking about you after now, and I have a bunch of white lies to juggle. Well, sorry about that. But yeah, I already requested off at latte night too, and I have the next day off since it's Saturday, so whatever you want to do, I'll have time for it. Thanks, and sorry you have to accommodate my schedule. I'd say like since like the understanding his like lifestyle, I'd be like, it is no big deal? Question mark. I don't know, Francis. I'm curious like how to like actually. Oh my gosh, I have so many saves already. To understand like how to do this the best, it's probably best to try and answer this from like Francis's perspective, and she has like shown, you know, thoughts of like it is like taking its toll on her, so I don't want to like lie about it, so I'll just say, well, you're famous. Well, okay, don't take this the wrong way, but you're the famous one between the two of us. Your schedule's harder to change. I get that, and I'm willing to work around it. Sorry. You don't have to apologize, Rai. Really. Okay, yeah, no. That went like exactly how I wanted it to in my brain. I was like, okay, you know, if I'm going to click this option, this is what she needs to say, and she basically did exactly that. Let's go. Wait. Why does it sometimes do that? Don't skip 2. You don't have to apologize, really. Why does that keep? Why? Stop it! Stop! Why? Wait, no, it's even doing that on my mouse. What the freak? Besides, you accommodate my schedule too. Okay, we read it. You don't try to call me when I'm at work, and you stay up late to talk to me when you don't have to. I don't want you to push yourself too hard, and you don't owe me anything, so stop apologizing. I don't want you to push yourself too hard, and you don't owe me anything, so stop apologizing so much for things you can't change. You're always so understanding. It makes me wish I could do more for you. You sent me flowers, though. True. Anyway, you have nothing to apologize for. So don't. It's like people say it's better to say thanks for waiting instead of sorry I'm late. That's a good line. I bet I could work it into lyrics. Lol. That's just like you. Francis? Yeah? Thanks for always waiting for me. I'm extra excited for that show now. He's so damn cute. While I'm continually shouting this in my heart, another soft and warm night rolls on. Rye had suggested to me before to try to get to the venue early. I do have the VIP pass, but it's still best if I got there before the crowd of general audience members does. I take public transit for the first time in a while and get there a good 2 hours before the show. Oh my gosh, is that really how concerts are? That's like going to an airport or something? That's terrible. Because, like, okay, again, I've only been to, like, one concert, like, ever in my life. And I don't remember it being like that, though I was also pretty young. How old was I? It was, like, a good long while ago. It was, like, a Selena Gomez concert, I'm pretty sure. Oh my gosh, yeah, no, that was, like, 10 years ago. Yeah, no, I don't remember having to get there that early, but that sounds awful. Amazingly, there's already somewhat of a crowd. Some people are willing to wait for a really long time just to maybe catch a glimpse of Virgil and Rye. Then again, those two should already be here, so maybe they're trying to have a better chance at standing at a standing spot closer to the stage. It's impressive and also scary. Also, hang on, aren't concerts like signed seatings? Whenever I've looked at concert tickets before, like, oh my gosh, I was trying to look up some auto concert tickets like months and months ago when she was like finally coming to the US. It was just not good. Like, it was specific seatings, it was just so much money. But whenever I've looked at concert tickets like for that, or like with friends before when they're talking about it, it's like, all right, here's your seats. So it's like very weird in my mind. There's like a disconnect of like, do people just rush in and just take a spot, or aren't they like assigned places to go? I don't understand this. It's impressive and also scary. The plot of several romance novels and manga flashes through my head as I imagine myself getting mauled by the crowd while they scream, "You're no Selena Gomez!" Also weird that she's now come up basically 3 times in this one stream. It's a terrifying mental image. I go around to the side as instructed and find a guarded entrance. Despite my reservations, I push past the smaller crowd that's there and hand my badge to the security standing outside the door. Pardon me, but can we check your bag? Oh, of course. I hand my bag to the other guard, who opens and briefly looks through it before handing it back to me. All I've gotten there is a wallet, phone, chapstick, and a book to pass the time. The first security guard scans my badge, and after a happy-sounding beep comes out of his scanner, they graciously allow me in. No harassment from the guards or the crowd of fans. That was easier than I expected. I follow the signs, wandering around this huge building until I get to the backstage area for Dryden's show. Everyone's running around busily, getting stuff together. When I look past some scaffolding, I can see a glimpse of the stage. Sure enough, Rye and Virgil are already there, rehearsing or sound checking or whatever it is musicians do. I pick an unobtrusive spot to stand so I'm not in anybody's way, and pull out my book to read. About a year ago, I picked up this novel since both Jenna and Avery were recommending it. I read a few chapters and liked it enough, but my attention just wandered off. I try to pick up from where I left off, but I don't remember the plot at all, so I guess I better start from the beginning. After a little while, I hear someone clear their throat right in front of me. Miss Lynn, I presume? I put the book down and see a tidy-looking man with glasses. Oh, this must be their manager. And you must be Mr. Stewart. I took my book into my bag and hold up my hand, which he shakes. Please, call me George. I force a polite little chortle. Rye's told us to expect you. There's a nice lounge area nearby if you'd prefer to sit. We'll have someone call you over when the concert starts. If I'm not in the way, would it be alright for me to stay here? I've never been, backstage before. I know I'm just reading, but it's nice sharing the same space as everyone. I'd feel really cut off if I was in a lounge somewhere. It's no trouble, but I'm afraid you might be standing around for a long while. Plus, the openers have to perform before Dryden does. I think on this for a while. It seems that George really is trying to be friendly and make me feel comfortable. I don't get the feeling that he's just trying to chase me off. I was expecting it to be like in Korean dramas, where the manager's like, "Who's this little rat trying to get close to my stars and cause a scandal? I've got to get rid of her!" Real life doesn't seem quite so dramatic. Actually, is there anything I can do to help? It would be pretty boring to just stand here for a few hours or sit in a lounge by myself. George tilts his head and rubs his chin, nodding a few times as he ponders this. You're supposed to be a guest. You really don't mind? I just want to support Rye however I can. George nods at my words and calls someone over who turns out to be a supervisor. I learned that there's always more to do, even with so many employees all over the place. They quickly put me to work as an errand runner. I pass on messages, grab tools and supplies for people, and even make a few lattes. Rye tells me you're a librarian? George asks me a while later, once things slow down and it's almost showtime. That's right. Well, if you ever get tired of that, I think you've got great potential as a roadie. Thanks. George, is Francis here yet? A wild Rye appears. He soon notices me and freezes mid-sentence. Oh, Rye. Hi. Can I not think of something better to say when meeting my boyfriend for the first time? You made it. I didn't know you were already here. Of course, I've been here almost 2 hours. I saw you on stage earlier, but you were pretty focused. I didn't want to bother you. She's been a great help. George pats my shoulder. You put her to work? Rye sounds a little annoyed. Don't blame me, George. Don't blame George, I asked. I got here way early and needed something to do. He sort of hums and responds like, oh, really? But doesn't challenge it. Come on. He takes my hand and leads me closer to the stage. There's even a chair for me to sit on. I have to go get ready, but this spot's for you. Let George know if it's too loud or anything. We've got earplugs and stuff. Rye pauses. Or, would you rather have those now? It's okay. I'll ask if I need them. Okay, cool. Is it me or is Rye just the shyest boy? Nervous. Huh? The LED on his helmet flashes just then, as if confirming my words. Oh, that's cool. Oh, well, yeah, this is our first meeting, our first time meeting after all. Turns out he's not nervous about the show, but about little old me. Even though he just said he has to go, Rye still got me by the hand. Either I'm full of myself or he's just reluctant to let go of me. I shift my hand in his until our fingers are intertwined. I feel him flinch, but he doesn't pull away. Aww. It's good to finally meet you, Rye. Yeah. I finally let go of his hand. We'll have time to catch up later. Go get ready. Right, yeah. Okay, I'll see you later, Francis. Rye gazes... Oh my gosh, he's such a shy boy. Look at him. He's so cute. Rye gazes down at his hand, the one I just let go of for the length of a heartbeat, and then he's off. Aww. I have a seat and wait for the show to start. The opening act is a group I'm not familiar with, but they do a great job hyping everyone up. I quietly look up one of their songs so I can listen to it again later. It is kind of loud here, but it's not unbearable, so I don't ask George for the earplugs. Once Dryden steps onto the stage, all hell breaks loose. The fans go wild, and I can hear them screaming for Virgil and Rye. Soon, Virgil starts singing, and the crowd gradually stops screaming as if entranced. Also, that is some gorgeous art right there. I love the lighting on it. It looks so good. Ooh, and there's like more lyrics? Oh my gosh. Hang on. I want to listen to this while I take a quick drink. Oh. That's a really nice touch. I would have been like completely fine if it was just like, you know, another like kind of like I don't want to say like background track, but like another like instrumental, you know what I mean? But like to have them actually like do like a vocal version of this is like super cool. I love that. As if they can't bear to talk over him for even a second. Virgil has always been the more popular member of Dryden. Lead singers usually are more popular. They're the frontmen after all, let alone ones who are as magnetic as Virgil. There's an amazing energy accentuated by flashing lights, and the crowd's eventually cheering and singing along. I can feel it even from backstage, but Virgil's not the person I really came here to see. Oh, look at our dapper dude. Look at him. Oh, he looks so fancy. Even with how brilliant Virgil is, my eyes are drawn to the man in the metal helmet. I can't take my eyes off of Rye as he switches between various roles. One moment he's on guitar, the next moment he's running around the stage, rhythmically waving his arms up and down to get the crowd going. But he's most captivating when playing the keys of the synthesizer. Seeing this is a huge contrast to the Rye I've grown used to, so chill and gentle. It hits me right then. Not for the first time recently, but definitely the strongest hit yet. That I'm really here. This is really happening. I'm backstage at a Dryden show because I'm dating Rye. I met him just now and held his hand. I wasn't catfished. I wasn't tricked. This is real. I continue to watch Rye through the concert set list. Wait. I continue to watch Rye through the concert set list and 2 encores, feeling just as memorized as everyone else in the arena. Imagine this is still just the longest con of her life, and it's still a catfish. Just the most dedicated catfish ever. I'm still in a daze long after the show's over. Wow, that was an experience. I really should go to concerts more often. That was awesome. I feel a tap on my shoulder, so I turn. Rai? Hey, you okay? I expected him to look drained after a show, but his posture looks like he's still full of energy. That's just because he's a proper lad. Oh yeah, I'm fine. I was just processing everything. You guys put on an amazing show. Thank you. I'm glad you really enjoyed it. He pauses for a moment. So, you ready to go? Rai raises his keys and shakes them so they jingle. You have a car? Is it a rental? I'm doubtful even as I say it. There's clearly some personal keychain on there, which a set of rental car keys probably wouldn't have. Rai stares at me for a little while, with his helmet on. I can't tell if he's giving me a condescending look or just thinking. No, it's my car. Oh. He doesn't live here. As far as I know, though, he travels a lot. Rai's actual home is in LA. Does he have a car here? Does he have a car waiting for him in every major city? I only have this one car. I'm not a car collector. When I need to, I have it transported to where I'm staying. Rai explains since the source of my confusion must be obvious. Since I knew that I would see you this weekend, I arranged to have it delivered here this morning. I nod my head. I've never owned a car, so I've never thought about having to ship it across country. But this makes sense, I guess. I quickly make sure that I still have my book and wallet and everything in my bag. Okay, I'm good to go. Rai leads me out the back to the venue where his car is parked. I have a moment, just one brief moment, where I think that maybe it might not be safe to be alone with someone I just met. Yeah, no, that's fair, especially someone who, like, never ever shows their face to anyone and no one has any idea what they look like. It could be a little dangerous, but, you know, you only live once, I guess. But Rai gives off such a safe, calm feeling that it's hard for me to feel danger from him. And he puts a lot of effort for a long time just to get into my pants, if that's what he's interested in. Oh, my brain, like, took a second to register what she was saying, like, oh, wait, what are you saying? And then I was like, oh, it clicked. Just in case, I text Jenna and ask her to check on me in an hour. Yikes, it's almost midnight. Thankfully, she immediately texts back with an, okay. So it turns out Rai drives a Porsche, 911 Turbo S? It's a sleek metallic black and it's a sleek metallic black and very shiny. I don't think that was proper grammar, but you know what? That's fine. I know even less about cars than I do about music, but it seems like a nice car to me. The Porsche hums to life after Rai starts the engine, and it accelerates super fast, careening out of the parking lot. Still, it's a smooth ride even as we go across streets that I know are potholes. It's a smooth ride even as we go across streets that I know are pothole-ridden. At one point, I Googled the car to see how much it costs, just out of curiosity. After staring at the 6-digit number, I confirm once again in my heart that Rai is a rich pop star, close the tab and put my phone away. This is a really nice car. Those are really bland words. Rai chuckles regardless. Thanks, I'm pretty fond of it myself. All his, like, poses are so cute. He seems like a cinnamon roll already and we just met him. This is one of the reasons why I was so excited that I can't speak. I was doing a better job of reading the script. This is one of the reasons I've, like, been so excited to, like, actually meet him, is to get, like, his portraits up here, man, so we can actually, like, get more of his character. Because it's, like, very hard to do that with just, like, you know, the phone calls, especially since, like, we can't actually hear what he's saying. Like, I have to do that, you know? So it's like, now that we're here, like, actually seeing his portraits and, like, getting his character, I'm like, oh, I love him already. He's great. He's just such, like, a cute little dorky cinnamon roll looking guy already. And, like, again, I guess I could be wrong, but those are the vibes he gives off. He turns down the music. The radio's tuned to a local station, and I hear a carpet cleaning commercial fade into a low hum. Are you hungry, Francis? Actually, yeah, I haven't eaten since way before the concert started. Let's grab something to eat. I'm pretty hungry too. What's open? At this time, probably just places like Waffle House. Oh, okay, Waffle House it is. Wait, really? Is it okay for you to be going to places like that? Stranger things have happened in a Waffle House, I'm sure. Well, he's probably right about that. I pull up the nearest Waffle House and act as Rai's personal GPS until we get over there. For someone not too familiar with the city, he drives with a lot of confidence. And so we arrive at Waffle House. Despite it being a Friday night, it's pretty empty. It's a miracle. Then again, there's so many of them in the area that they probably compete with each other. I'm sure more people will come crawling in after 2 a.m. We walk in and the hostess is a much older woman, probably pushing 70, who barely glances at Rai before seating us. Guess she's not a Dryden fan. I feel like even if you weren't a fan of his music, you'd look at the guy wearing the robot helmet. I don't know, that would just like pique my radar just slightly. I still have my reservations about this, but there's nobody really here, and I suppose Rai would know best what's okay and not okay for him to do. Could we sit on this side of the restaurant? Rai gestures towards the left. At the moment, there's only one other table, and they're on the opposite end. The hostess has no problem with this and lets us sit where we want. Rai picks an obscure corner booth. You can't really see us from the kitchen or the front desk, and there's enough trees around that it'd be hard for someone to see us from outside either. It's not completely private, but it's as close as you can get to private at a Waffle House, I guess. Are you more of a waffle person or a pancakes person? Pancakes, I think. Rai responds my silly question quite seriously. Unfortunately, Waffle House doesn't serve pancakes, so he's forced to order waffles too. Okay, to be fair, even if you have like a one or the other as like your favorite, they're both still good, alright? No one's like upset to eat waffles, okay? Like if you like pancakes, you're not upset to eat waffles, I mean. I order pecan waffles and some sunny side up eggs. I can't even remember the last time I went to Waffle House. Same here. What do you normally eat when you're on tour? A lot of takeout and room service. Whatever my manager brings us, I guess. Can't be too picky when we're on the road. Our food arrives and Rai keeps talking. I don't get to go out like this too much these days. I don't know what I would have done if this place was packed. I nod, continuing to eat my waffles. I'm actually famished. That's the word, famished. I can't even eat politely right now. Francis? I look up and respond without opening my mouth. There's something I haven't told you yet. Something about me. I finish chewing that bite and gaze at his untouched plate. Don't tell me you secretly don't like Waffle House. It's not that. He sounds pretty low-spirited, uncomfortable even. I don't know what could really surprise me anymore about you. I was already shocked to find out that you're famous. I hope I sound encouraging. I don't want to make a joke out of something he's so serious about. This is even more shocking than that. Rai lets out a sigh. That's why even though I knew I should have told you sooner, I just couldn't bring myself to do it. So I swore to myself that once we met up, I'd tell you no matter what. Is it something so serious that we might break up over it? All the worst case scenarios start running through my head, but I'm not callous enough to start guessing. Does he have a terminal illness? Is he an alcoholic? What could it be? Rai looks around. Is he checking to see if anyone's looking? He needn't have bothered. The staff already came by 5 minutes after the food was dropped off to check on us. They're not coming back anytime soon, and nobody else has come in yet. So then slowly, Rai removes his helmet. Ooh! Oh, that's so cool! Oh my gosh. Like, I love how that smoke looks. Like, they could have easily just, like, done, like, very, like, you know, here's just, like, some little whiffs coming out of his head. But that looks so stylized, like, kind of match the backgrounds, but still, like, stand out from it, you know? That's really cool. Also, yeah, no, I've known this for a while, because it's kind of like, if this game had, like, a book blur, you know, the summary of it, this is kind of, like, spoiled in it, I guess. And I don't know if I like or dislike that it's spoiled. Just because, like, I do think it would be a nice twist of, like, oh, why does he always wear his helmet? And then you find out he's a Doahan, like, a headless thing from mythology. And, like, that's a really cool twist. But, like, how else do you describe this to someone when you're trying to, like, recommend it, you know? Like, again, when you're trying to write, like, the back of, like, a book blurb, it's like, oh, a girl dates a famous pop star. And it's like, okay, well, that's, like, not, like, too, like, enticing of a premise. We've seen that, like, a million times. Like, the Disney Channel did that, like, 72 times. So it's like, you put the Dolahan part there, like, out there already, just to, like, show it off a bit. And I guess the title screen, which I do love, and it looks super good, kind of also spoils it, I guess. I don't know if it actually would count as a spoiler if you didn't know. It would just lead you to think that there's something under the helmet that's, like, mysterious, you know? So again, I'm not sure if I like that the story is essentially spoiled going into it, because this could be a really cool twist. But I also don't think it really, like, takes away too much of this. It's definitely like a slightly less of an experience, like of a good experience, like if you know already. Because like this whole time you're just kind of like waiting for it to get there, like get to the oh he takes off his helmet, you know what he is kind of part, just because again you know going in. That's why I've been trying like not to say it essentially this whole time. Outside like I guess when I tweeted out that I was reading this, when I tweeted out the schedule, I did say, haha, I'm reading the hashtag Dullahan dating sim, just because I wanted to start doing a thing where I was like, oh, if I'm reading something, for, especially from like an indie company, or if I'm playing something by like an indie company, like I'll at them. So then like if anyone like is curious to know what I'm playing or like anything like that, they can like know where to go to find who made it essentially, you know, or find out more about it, you know? I feel like that's like a good thing to do. So I was like, oh, the best hashtag to do that with is like with this one. So I guess I kind of spoiled it if anyone saw that tweet and then is now here listening to this, but you know what? That's fine. That's fine. But yeah, no, so I've known this for like basically the whole time, ever since like even the demo, but I still do think it's a very fun concept, especially because like he's been keeping it a secret for a reason, and there are like so many like obvious things like, oh, how are you supposed to like kiss someone who like you can't look at, or like there's like a lot of other issues that like or like not a lot of issues but like personal problems that could like come from like dating like a Dullahan. Like imagine like taking him to meet your parents and then they're like, hey, why does this guy always wearing a robot helmet? Oh, because he's the headless creature from mythology. Sorry, mom and dad. You know, I feel like some people might react a little strongly to it. Like I could imagine her screaming in the next couple of seconds, and you know what, that'd be completely and totally understandable. So yeah, let's see. Let's see if she does that. Ellipses, ellipses, ellipses. Wait, what? I stare at the cloud of smoke that's billowing where Raya's head should be. Ooh, also this song is great. Oh my gosh. To be fair, all the music in this has been so good so far. I've loved all the music. Oh, this is so good. That's right. Should be. Because Raya doesn't have a head. There's no pictures of him without his helmet on. Because he doesn't have a fucking head? I'm caught between two reactions. Do I run out of the Waffle House or start laughing hysterically? Or run out of the Waffle House while laughing hysterically? My field of vision momentarily darkens. Oh, Francis, stop. Do not pass out here. Rye flinches, but I can read his facial expression because... But I can't read his facial expressions because he hasn't got one. But he puts his helmet back on. It doesn't matter. Now that I know what's underneath, I can conjure the image in my head. I stare holes into Rye's helmet for a long while. This is a lot to take in. Yeah, I know, I'm sorry. How are you talking to me right now? Okay, unironically, that's why I've wondered, like, okay, Dullahans, not only how do they talk, like, where does the voice come from? Like, does it sound like it's coming from his headgeal space? Or, like, how does he eat? Because, like, I guess he hasn't eaten anything yet. Granted, he also takes a lot of food pictures, so he sounds like a food connoisseur. So, but how does he actually eat things? Does he just shove it down his neck? Is there a hole where his neck should be, where the smoke's coming from him? Who's to say? And can he smell things? Does his smoke sniff for him? There's a lot of, like, biological questions here about being a Dullahan. Huh? Rai freezes in place. Oh, wait, I interrupted him. Was he apologizing? For what? There are more important matters at hand. If you don't have a head, you don't have a mouth. If you don't have a mouth, how can you talk? I tilt my head in contemplation. Are you, like, using psychic powers to talk? Wait, but then they couldn't record your voice for interviews. So you have a voice, but how? I really have to think about this. Is that why he didn't eat? Is that why he didn't eat any of his waffles, or how he can prefer pancake? And how can he prefer pancakes or waffles if he can't eat either of them? And how do you taste things if you don't have a tongue? How do you have a preference if you don't have taste buds? I guess it could be like a texture thing, like how it feels sliding down your throat hole. But I don't. But then how do you have a... I guess that would just be it. It would be like the texture of it. Francis? Yeah? I'm a Dullahan. I come from a whole family of Dullahans. Is Dullahan the official word for a person with no head? I guess it's more like a species. Okay. Okay? What do you mean by okay? You're just going to accept that? Well, yeah, I already saw that you have no head. You understand that I'm a Dullahan, and the first thing you have to say to me is ask about my voice? I mean, technically the first thing I said was, this is a lot to take in, and it is. But I mean, okay. You don't have a head, right? You're not pranking me. You really don't have a head. Yeah? He takes his helmet off again, briefly, just to drive that point home. Yep, I read you loud and clear. You don't have a head, bro. I can't help but stare at that... I'm loving this scene. I can't help but stare at that smoke cloud, but I don't feel that shock that I did when I first saw it. I'm a librarian. I read a lot. Like, in some way, I'm already emotionally prepared for the situation. And instead of dwelling on the fact that you have no head, which is something I have absolutely no control over anyways, I want to better understand. Right. So how are you talking to me right now? Is it like magic? Rai shifts in his seat. I think he's shocked at the direction the conversation has taken. If I'm being honest, I'm shocked too, but I've come to understand Rai very well these last couple of months. I know that it took a lot of courage for him to tell me about this. It's a secret that presumably very few people know about him. So I want to try to meet him halfway. I guess it is magic. That's the best way to explain it. This smoke simulates all the parts of my head. Wait, this smoke simulates all the parts of my head that should be there. I can hear and smell and taste like a regular person, I think. Okay, but like, how does that work? You just shove it into the smoke and then the smoke like devours it? Like, I was gonna bring up like a example, but I can't think of another example where fog eats things. That's not exactly a thing that smog or folk really does, but you know, consumes it in a way. See? Can you see all around you, or do you still have to turn? I have a normal person's field of vision. That is, I can see in front of me in full detail and color, but my peripheral vision goes all the way around. If something moves behind me, I can see that. It's a bit fuzzy though. That sounds like it could be really useful. Like a mugger would never be able to get you. I make a mental note of all this, so I shouldn't sneak up on Rai to surprise him then. My eyes return to the plate of waffles in front of him. It's come back to that. So, can he eat? That's still the question. Once again, Rai understands what I mean without my having to say anything at all. He drizzles a generous amount of maple syrup, okay, maple flavored syrup, onto his waffles, and then picks up a fork and knife to cut a bite's worth. Then Rai turns to look around once again. Come to think of it, he did that earlier too. I guess I should have answered my question of whether or not he can see 360 degrees around him. The waitress is distracted, and nobody seems to be paying us much attention. Rai takes off his helmet once again. Damn, the more I see that, the more I get used to it. By this third time, I had no visible reaction at all. No matter what else he is, at the end of the day, Rai is just Rai. Since I took all that time to accept him being famous, that doesn't seem too bad in comparison somehow. It's better than having him have a terminal illness, that's for sure. Rai spears the bite-sized chunk of waffles that he has prepared and then raises his fork, holding the end of it directly into the smoke. Right before my eyes, the pieces of waffle dissolve while the fork stays perfectly intact. That's so weird. That's so weird that nothing happens to the fork. Is it like a choice that he does of like, he sticks the food into his smoke and then can choose to only consume the food? Or is it because like the smoke only can consume, like, I guess, why would it only be food? I don't know, you could just be like edible stuff, you know? Since like metal isn't edible, he'd have to like eat, but he can only consume like edible things, maybe? Rai repeats the sequence a few times. He cuts the waffle, stabs the piece, and finally transports them into his smoke where they dissolve into nothing. I can eat. I still have a stomach and digestive system, so if I don't eat, I'll eventually die of starvation. Same goes for water. He takes the glass of water in front of him, raises it up to the smoke, and tilts the glass. As water pours into the smoke, it gradually disappears. It's actually pretty mesmerizing to watch. What happens when you take a shower? Does your stomach fill up with water? That's such a good question. Oh, okay, he's answering. He's answering what I asked, too. No, I have to make a conscious decision to eat or drink. So if I were to stand outside without my helmet and it started raining, I wouldn't drown or drink up all the rain or anything. Rai explains everything to me patiently, his voice filled with warmth. I see. He quickly finishes his food before putting his helmet back on. Right as he does so, a large group stumbles into the Waffle House. He finished eating right in the nick of time. If you have any other questions, I'll answer them as best I can. No, I don't want you to feel like a sideshow attraction or anything. I'm sorry if I'm being too blunt. I'm actually glad that you're asking. It's better for you to be curious about me than utterly repulsed. There's no way I'd be repulsed by you. I feel this so strongly that I rise out of my chair as I say it. It's definitely a surprise, and it'll take some time to really sink in, but I take a deep breath before I continue sitting back down. So why did I try to say stifling back down? We've been dating for almost 2 months. That's not an incredibly long period of time. That's not an incredibly long period of time. I'm struggling to say that. That's not an incredibly long period of time, but it's long enough for me to understand some things about you. I wouldn't be repulsed just by you not having a head. After all, there's people in the world who have had heads. Wait. After all, there's people in the world who have had heads but don't know how to use them. There are horrible people with heads, cruel and bigoted and unfeeling. Rai, you're so kind and hardworking and unbelievably talented. Your words can inspire me and also make me laugh until my stomach hurts. So who cares if you don't have a head? Francis, you should take some more time to think this over. You shouldn't say things you might regret. No, before you took off your helmet for the first time, I was already coming up with a list of worst case scenarios in my head. I was worried and also dreading that it was you who had to tell me. Wait, I was worried and also dreading what it was that you had to tell me. It turned out that none of those scenarios came true. I raise my chin so I look confident. I pretend he has eyes and lock eyes with him. So if that's the case, I can deal with everything else. It's the same as what I said when you told me. We're not alone anymore. Maybe I shouldn't be exclaiming that the person in front of me is from Dryden. When you revealed your last big secret, this too is something I'm willing to work through. After a very long pause, Rai lets out a sigh of relief. Really, I almost can't believe it. Thank you. He sounds so touched. Just how much was he worrying about this? He wanted to tell me all along, but was afraid of my reaction. Maybe Rai was afraid I'd leave him if I found out. The thought shakes me. Okay, do you have any other surprises? Please tell me this is the last shocking thing you have to reveal to me about yourself. I don't know if I'll be able to handle it if you tell me you secretly also have 5 illegitimate children. Wait. I don't know if I'll be able to handle it if you tell me that you secretly also have 5 illegitimate children godfathered by Kanye West. Finally, Rai laughs. He laughs so hard that his shoulders shake. It's a nice sound. No, this is it. No more surprises. Not big ones, at least. Once Rai finally gets a hold of himself again, he raises his gaze to meet mine. Are you sure you don't need more time to consider? It's almost like you want me to run away screaming. No, it's really not like that. I'm just trying to make sure you don't feel coerced into anything. And I appreciate that, but I'm not being coerced. This is my own decision. Alright. Just then I get a text from Jenna. She's checking on me just as I asked her to. Hey, everything okay? How's the date? I quickly text back that I'm fine, because I really am feeling fine just now. Great. He's just as nice in person, not a serial killer. Very wonderful. After I finish my food, Ryan insists on paying for my meal. I try to argue that I can afford to pay. Okay, hang on, listen. I'm all for being independent and not always making, like, the guy pay for your meals and everything. But, counterpoint, he's like a millionaire, so he's incredibly rich. He's not putting himself out, like, obviously it's a very nice gesture, I don't want to downplay it, but he's not exactly gonna starve, you know, if he pays for your meal too. Like, Francis, you can afford to let him you can afford to let him pay for your food. It's like literal pocket change to him. It's fine. But he insists that it's the least he can do after giving me such a shock. If it makes him feel better, I suppose I ought to let this go. Rai then drives me to an apartment to drop me off. I get out of the car once he stops in front of my apartment building. Rai rolls down one of the windows. Wait, you're not... Hang on. You're not gonna walk her up? Like, come on. I mean, I guess... Is that too much? Because I feel like maybe it's different than walking them up to the door, you know? In my brain, it's like, if you take someone out for a date, regardless of whatever situation, you always walk them up to the door after you're done for the night. That's like the polite thing to do. I feel like that helps show that you care more, you know? But I guess it might be a little different because it's an apartment building. It's like all right, let's like say goodbye for now. Proceeds to walk them up like 3 flights of stairs into an elevator, then up to their apartment building. You know, I guess it's a little different. Francis, thanks for tonight. That's what I should be saying. You gave me a VIP pass and treated me to dinner. Dinner at Waffle House. It's the thought that counts. Good night, Rye. Have a safe flight tomorrow. Thanks. Good night, Francis. Once I make it into my apartment, I go to the window and still see that Porsche out there. After a while, Rye finally pulls out of the apartment parking lot and drives away. He was probably just sitting there, like, just celebrating, feeling himself out, being like, "Oh my gosh, finally, someone who didn't run away screaming, someone I like actually like really like. Oh, let's go on that date. Went so good. It was such a good time. Oh my gosh, and she loved the show." He was probably just vibing so hard right there. Oh, I love it. When I can no longer see his car, I leave the windowsill and walk into my bedroom. Wow, what a night. I peel off my cardigan before immediately collapsing into bed, not even possessing the energy to change into my pajamas. Misty comes over to me, laying her paw on my shoulder. She seems worried somehow. Or maybe I'm just projecting. Misty, I just found out that my boyfriend's a Dullahan. That's Irish for without a head. I looked that up on the way I looked that up on the drive back. Naturally, Misty doesn't respond. The weirdest part is, I think I'm okay with this. I was surprised and I freaked out a little bit, but after thinking it through and talking to him about it, I feel like it's totally not that big of a deal. I start to laugh despite myself. Okay, well here's the question. Very weird question. If she and Rye have children together, would they have like half a head and then the other half would be all smoke? And if they do have kids that have half a head, what half would it be? I feel like, oh, which one's grosser? I was gonna be like, I feel like it's grosser if it's just like the bottom half of their head, like it's just basically like their jaw, like bottom set of teeth, a tongue that leads into nothing but smoke. And I was like, oh, that's like horribly disturbing. But then, oh no, you know what? I was gonna say, but also only having like half the head, like, how do you describe it? Vertically, like half the head vertically, would also be pretty gross. But I feel like it'd be less gross because you like still have like all the smoke coming out. You don't have to see like all like as much of like the muscle and blood and stuff. I feel like that might be a little bit better. And just thinking about it, I'm like, yeah, that's way less disgusting. So, but you know, hopefully their kids don't come out like that. I feel like people would be a lot more aggressive about, or a lot meaner about them than if he was just like completely headless, you know? I start to laugh despite myself. There's people in the world who are missing other limbs and living just fine. What's the big deal with not having a head? He can still see, he can still taste things. What does he even need a head for? Misty has no answer to that either. My racing mind finally starts to turn into fuzzy static as my tiredness catches up to me all at once. Even though Rye has to leave early the day after the concert, we still text each other throughout the weekend. I ask him all sorts of questions about being a Dullahan, and Rye answers each query with obviously practiced patience. It's Monday morning, and I'm getting ready for work as usual. Who knows why Rye's awake, but we're chatting. I asked him before Dullahans have to sleep, and he said that they do, so I guess he just doesn't sleep much. The headless Porscheman? Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's great. How did you go to school growing up? You can't have been wearing a helmet all your life. All Dullahans are descendants of the same family, and the family takes care of us. There's also special schools people like us go to. Oh my gosh, is this gonna be like a Scooby-Doo Ghoul school? Where it's just like, here's a school for just like the monsters and everything. Oh, that'd be awesome. So you went to like a special school for supernatural beings? Yep, for kids that would have a harder time in, well, a traditional school setting. Wait. I just thought of something crucial. Didn't Rye says he's known Virgil since they were kids? And Virgil knows what he looks like without his helmet on. So Virgil must have gone to the special school. Oh my gosh, is Virgil going to be something like a vampire? Ooh. Is Virgil... No, he must be. He must be some kind of mythological being too. He has a head, so I'm guessing he's not a Dullahan. I don't think it's my place to ask Virgil, though. About Virgil, though, and I hardly know the guy. Now I'm wondering how many of these schools there are. And if they ever compete like in Harry Potter. So there's gotta be a lot of other supernatural beings of the world other than Dullahans if there's whole schools for them. Yeah. We're not all hyper aware of each other, so I can't say I'm an expert, but... Vampires, mermaids, werewolves, the folk. They all exist as far as I know. You're kidding. Nope. Also, the folk? Fae, fairies. Most don't like being called that, though. Though I'm technically Fae too, but I don't really care what I'm called. Wow. The idea that there's a whole other world. The fact that the idea that there's a whole world of beings aside from humans living among us honestly shocks me more than the revelation that Ryza Dullahan. It's also kind of mind-blowing that we're just casually texting about this. There's not a secret government agency that's gonna, like, come and get me for knowing about this, is there? Well, you think the US government knows about the folk? No way. They can't even make sure there's fair treatment for regular humans who just look different, let alone the rest of us. I just had this horrifying mental image of you getting locked up and studied like a lab rat. Fun fact, Dullahans can't be locked up. Locks, doors, and gates all open before the Dullahan. That's a very practical power. When I have a free moment at the library, I do a little more research on Dullahans. There's not much out there, and my library in particular has practically nothing on them. Unfortunately, they're not as glamorous as vampires. It makes me feel some pity for the Dullahan family. Dullahans are pretty cool too. Dullahans are always mounted on a trusty black steed. That's why he had the black car, which races like terror through the night. I think about Rye's jet black Porsche and can't help but shake my head. A trusty black steed for the year 20XX. Even more hilarious is the line Dullahans are the embodiment of raging death. Rye, the embodiment of raging death? Please. I look up from my computer and see that there's more seniors in here today. Oh, let's go. It's been a little less than a month since me, Kyung, and Edwin started putting together more senior programs. The first mystery book club for seniors meets this week. I think they're going to meet to decide which book to read first. I hope they manage to get out of their comfort zone and read an author who's not Lee Child or James Patterson. Mystery is a popular genre among seniors, but they tend to read the same handful of authors over and over. I make a mental note to have them add a Walter Mosley book to the list. Still, it feels great to see results from something that I suggested. I hope a wider variety of people can feel welcomed at the library. Rye calls me while I'm walking home after work. Hey, what's the occasion? He chuckles. Does there need to be an occasion for me to want to hear my girlfriend's voice? Whoa, behold the embodiment of raging death. I can't help laughing. No, I guess not. One of the new senior programs is starting this week. It's a mystery book club. They don't know what book they're reading? I pause, parsing my words until I realize why he might say that. No, the book club is for mystery books like Sherlock Holmes mysteries. Oh, that makes a lot more sense. You're cute. Rye just laughed sheepishly at that. I guess it wasn't an intentional joke. Oh, do you remember me saying that I'd have some time off soon? I got a little confused on whose text was who. And then I was like, okay, who said what last? Yeah, after your last US show on the tour, right? Uh-huh, it's coming up. The last show is this Thursday, so I could fly out as soon as the next morning. Would you mind if I spent a week in your city? So there was an occasion after all. I mean, I can hardly stop you from going where you want anyway, but of course I don't mind. I'm so happy that you'll be here, but... Oh no, we didn't plan this very well. You should have told me sooner. I don't know if I'll be able to take the week off. Latte night is pretty flexible, so I should have no problem getting someone to pick up my shifts, but the library... I think it's too short notice for me to ask for the week off. Why didn't he tell me about this before? Granted, I could have been more observant of the tour list, but still. Then it dawns on me. It's only been a few days since we had our dramatic talk at Waffle House. But I didn't clarify the dates of his break ahead of time because he wasn't sure that we'd still be dating by the time his break came. He'd always been planning to tell me about being a Dullahan after the show, but he didn't make any plans with me past that, just in case I couldn't accept him. That way, he could have a clean break, and Rye could walk out of my life without having to cancel plans. The thought is pretty sobering. It's okay, I'll probably have to hit the studio while I'm there anyway. I have some new ideas I want to work on. I can schedule it for when you're at the library. I should be able to take off at latte night, maybe a day or two from the library. I'm sorry. No worries, we'll make it work. Are you off for Good Friday? Wait, why is good capitalized? Are you off for Good Friday? Is that like a place? What is Good Friday? Wait, hang on, I'm looking this up, hang on. Maybe I'm just misreading something, hang on. Bop. Bop. pop, pop. I do love that I can pull stuff up on this display and it just doesn't get picked up because I don't let it be. If I was just doing like display capture, it would be all over this. Hang on, hang on, hang on. Oh no, I'm trying to move my water ball so I can type better. Good Friday. What is Good Friday celebrated for? Symbols of Good Friday. Good Friday is commemorated in the memory of Jesus Christ's sacrifice and death and crucifixion. I've never heard of this before. I did not know that this was a thing. When March 20... Oh my gosh, Good Friday's tomorrow! Oh my gosh, the timing on that. That's so weird. That's so weird. What if I should have read this tomorrow? I should have known. I should have known about Good Friday and it specifically being in this visual novel. I can't believe I did that. Oh, I'm so cringe. That's so cool, though. That's actually like a really cool coincidence. Oh, I forgot about that. Okay, yeah, I should be off that Friday, and following Monday for Easter. And if I request another 2 days off, that'll be four full days I have off to spend with you. Plus the weekend. Plus the weekend. Okay, with the timing, it ends up feeling like I have the whole week off anyway. I only have to work like 2 days that he's here. Nice. Should I meet you at the airport, or what? Oh, I'll have to be in disguise and stuff, but things like this tend to leak. It's alright, I can pick you up for It's alright, can I pick you up for dinner? Sure, while you're riding your chusty black steed. Someone has been reading the Wikipedia article on Dullahans. How much of it's true? Quite a bit. I think one of my cousins actually edited the article a while back. After finalizing our plans, I call Mi Kyung about getting 2 more days off, telling her that my boyfriend surprised me with a visit. She ends up just giving me the whole week off. It's only an extra 2 days and you have so many vacation days saved up. Don't even worry about it. It's Easter week, so it'll be easy to get a community volunteer to come in. Are you sure? I feel bad that this is so last minute. No problem. It's not like you're asking for a month off or anything. You're the best boss ever. Now it's flipped to me being idle while Rai's in the studio. The head librarian gave me the whole week off. Woo! In that case, how about coming to the studio with me? Is that allowed? Sure, I think you can be I think you can be considered very necessary staff. OMG. We continue texting each other as I walk to my apartment, though I do trip on the stairs twice. Talk about embarrassing. I'm more than a little glad Rai's not here to see how giddy I am about all this. Okay, go sleep. You don't sleep enough. What if you get sick? Wait, can Dullahans get sick? We're not immortal, Francis. Yes, we can get sick. We live basically the same life as a regular person. But you don't get allergies, though. Well, yeah, since I can just choose not to process pollen. Some people just have it all. The more I think about it, the more I feel like it was a bigger shock to me that Rai's famous. As for his not having a head. Maybe I'm being too optimistic, but I don't feel it's that big of a deal. He's so forthcoming about answering my questions. Whatever concerns I may have are gradually disappearing. Rai has clearly lived this long without having a head. I guess he doesn't really need one. Still, I have to say, I've been really surprised that you're so cool about all this. I think I'm just gonna do like a little savey-do at all of these little like decision-making spots, even if I don't really need to. Like I'm gonna click this one. I like this answer. Would you have preferred me to freak out? Well, no, of course not. But it's, it's an unexpected reaction. In a good way, but it doesn't feel real somehow. I guess I'm just not used to it being... I'm just not used to it. People being understanding, I mean. I've really been trying to think of the downsides to you being a Dullahan, just to play devil's advocate to myself. The only two I can think of are, one, you don't have facial expressions, so it'll be harder for me to gauge how you're feeling. That's fair. And two, we can't kiss. I'm gonna stop you right there, because yes, we can't. Wait. I just imagined her trying to make out with Smoke, and it was not a fun picture. Ew. How, you don't have a mouth? I don't need a mouth that... Oh! You know what? I had a terrible thought there, and I'm just gonna say it just because why not? I read that as I don't need a mouth to eat you out. I don't know how that popped in my head, but that is just what my brain went to. I apologize. I did not think, like, obviously that's not what he said. That's just what my brain like auto-filled in after I read I don't need a mouth to eat, yada yada, you know? Anyways, I don't need a mouth to eat, and I don't need a mouth to kiss someone. It's just different from what you're probably used to. Probably. Okay, what? No, I'm intrigued. And a little nervous? Nervous excited? Anyway, if those are the only two downsides you can think of, I'm doing pretty well. I can count on one hand all the humans I've told about being a Dullahan. That doesn't surprise me at all. Also, I keep pronouncing Dullahan different every time I say it. Some of those experiences were not great. Yeah, I can believe that. Humans as a species are historically not too good at accepting others who are different from them. And not having a head is a pretty big difference, to be fair. Even I was shocked, to say the least, when I found out that Rai was a Dullahan. And I'm pretty easygoing if I do say so myself. I'm sorry, that's really shitty. It's okay. Well, no, it's not okay, but it's in the past now. What I'm trying to say is that I'm thankful your reaction wasn't the same. But at the same time, you're so accepting that it scares me. Why does it scare you? Being too happy is terrifying in a way. Like, is this real? Is this actually happening? Or is it just a dream? I'm nervous that all this just hasn't fully sunken in for you yet. And once it does, you'll be horrified and dump me. That's real. And I can relate to that all too well. So it takes me a moment to think my response through. I can't guarantee anything, of course. I don't want to give you any unrealistic expectations. But the more I get to know you, the more I like you. If your being a Dullahan doesn't bother me now, I just don't think it'll suddenly bother me later down the road. That's really heartening. Thanks, Francis. And I feel the same way. It might sound cheesy, but the more I talk to you, the more I feel like I found a kindred spirit. That might be one of the sweetest things that's been said to me. I'm really excited to see you, Ray. Dryden, I don't know. I'll just stick with one of those options, who knows. 4 more sleeps until I'm there. Rai is kind, intelligent. His career might not be the most stable, but he's very successful with it. And he might not have a head, but the rest of his body seems pretty nice. So what's the problem with him not having a head? Rai and I continue texting about this topic and that until it's time for both of us to sleep. All right, and I think that right there is a pretty good place to call it for now. We finally got to meet the boy. We finally got to go on a date with the boy. We finally got to, talk and explore the idea of him being a Dullahan and what that means with the boy. So I'd say we made a lot of good progress today. And hey, I did mess up. Everyone messes up, though, but it was way less than last time. It definitely didn't get to the point where I was like, okay, we just need to stop. I think the secret is I just need to be, full before we eat, because, I feel like it's usually, me getting hungry that makes me, talk worse, if that makes sense in a weird way, which is very odd, because, when I was reading First Snow yesterday, I was, very aware, but then I got hungry, and then I started reading worse, and it was, very bad, but here I'm very tired. But I ate right before doing this. I had some carrots just to test it out because I had that theory. And you know what? I was gosh darn right. So you know what? That's the plan from now on, is just have some carrots before I come into this. So, I really enjoyed it. I'm really looking forward to, now that he's actually here and, we can actually, do stuff with him, especially since he's going to be here for, the next week or whatever. We have, a lot of time to spend with him and however the story moves after that. So I'm really excited. I'm just really excited to see, how the story is going to, move from here on out. Because this whole time it's just kind of been oh, Francis kind of going about her day, and texting him along the way. And then she finds out, oh no, he's Rai from Dryden. And then, it's just her kind of going about her day and doing stuff. And then, oh, she finds out that he's going to be in town. And then she, just kind of going about her day. And it's been very, very good, very entertaining. Because the characters are just very I don't want to say they are charismatic. They're very charismatic and entertaining to follow. So I was very fine with it. But now that there's this new dynamic of him actually being here and they can actually do stuff, I'm very interested to see where the story is going to go. But yeah, with all that being said, we will be back on Tuesday with more of the Headwell Lost. So with all that being said, I'll see all ya beautiful people in the next one. Bye-bye!